Okay, welcome everybody. We got a 2020 container garden series from just outside Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, zone 6B. It is April 22nd and today was fertilizer day. So these are all the plants that are still under grow lights begging to come out. That cucumber there, I just can't let it out yet. Right now, we don't have very high temperatures in the area. I think the high is 60, maybe a couple days, but usually it's in the 50s. Down here we have the last of the seedlings that I'll probably put in bigger containers. I don't have anywhere near the amount of containers just for this stuff. And then when you take the plants that I have downstairs, it's there's going to be a lot that don't make it. Okay, and I mentioned it was fertilizer day. Last year I got a tremendous yield. Yeah, last year was the first year I planted anything. I got so many habanero peppers off 2 plants that I had to freeze some. So I got a bunch of those. I had enough bell peppers that I could go out to the pool and just take one off the plant and eat it. Sweet banana pepper, same thing. Jalapenos I had way too many of. So one thing I'm changing that I didn't do last year was fertilizing. I didn't fertilize very well last year. It was my first year, so I didn't really know what to do. I had some, I don't have it right here, but it was Miracle Grow. It was in the black container. Peak Performance, I think it's called. It's slow release stuff, so I would put that on there. It seems like once every 3 weeks or something, just when I thought of it. This year, what I'm doing different is I'm doing once a week after the first leaves come out. And what we're using here, I've had so much luck with Miracle Grow over anything else. So I'm going to stick with Miracle Grow. And I use this. This is, I didn't know what to expect from it, but it's in these little bags. And it's water soluble, which the other ones that I used before weren't. And I'll show you how we put it together here. I don't remember the ratio that it said to use, but I made 1.5 gallons, stored it in here, and I did a spray bottle. And basically what I do is, on the cups you saw upstairs, I would spray wet the roots at the bottom and leave it at that. For some of these bigger plants, I sprayed a lot more. So we'll see how that goes. It seemed to be working well. My superstar here is leaning. I keep putting more dirt in there, but he keeps leaning over, but it has been windy. I staked up these 2 plants here. Again, I think they're lima bean. And looks like both of them are starting to flower. The lettuce, the onion. Now this onion plant, whenever I brought it out, all the leaves were touching the ground. After I put the fertilizer in and I watered it, it's just bouncing right back. I'll show you the seed experiment. Not too much movement here. They're all pretty much about the same size. Potatoes. Real excited to see the potatoes coming up here. We just fertilized them. I fertilized everything today. And the strawberry plant here. I wish I would have put in these notes the dates of all these things. I'm putting it what part it is, but I'm not putting the dates, and that's going to help me more later. But you'll see these guys here, just like the cucumber plants upstairs. And I've already mentioned this in the previous video. They're so desperate to get out of these little cups here. I don't want to put them outside and they die. And this guy, as I mentioned, pounds of peppers I've gotten off this plant, and still more coming in here. Ring of Fire plant. It looks like I planted 2. I didn't realize there were 2 seeds in there, but I've been getting a lot of peppers off that. This one here, the tomato plant, I staked these 2 tomato plants up. I thought I wasn't going to get anything out of these, even though they were flowering, because I didn't have much luck on the last pepper plant that I had just growing in the grow tent. And while this one This one seems a little shaggy here, but we're not even in May yet. There's some tomatoes on there. How good they'll be, I don't know. Plant looks a little bit sad, but I don't have the nerve to kill it. I have one thing that I think I'm learning is just to have many backups of all these plants as possible, and that's what I do. I have way too many backups. And up here we have the plants hardening off. This is day 3. I don't remember. I'm not going to go back and look. Day 3, I think. Day 3 or 4. We're up to 4 hours today. 4 hours are going to be out in the sun. It's overcast, so it's not that bad. Superstars here. We got this nice perky lettuce that you give this thing some fertilizer and water, and it just goes from droopy, bouncing up to perfect. And then this one I think is another Brussels sprout plant. This one's kind of big. This is my backup in case that one down there never fruits. And then got kale here, another brassica. I think that's broccoli maybe. So that's where we're at up here. And these were flowers I planted. They're just getting tossed. I'm surprised I got vegetables to come up. These plants, these flowers, they were just the roots and never came up, but I'll be honest, I didn't really care too much about them, so I didn't water them so very often. So I'm sure that's it. Lastly, with this one, here's what we're gonna do in the following week or so. I'm getting called back to work within days now. So I thought I was gonna have a little more time off than this, but I'm happy to go back to work. This is all a mess here because I've just been digging through it, but we got a bunch of containers there, a lot of potting mix there. By the way, I think I mentioned before, this potting mix from Miracle Grow, I literally have like a 99% germination rate with that. That stuff works excellent. Almost every seed I grow, or I put in there, it all comes out. Got some vermiculite here. I'm gonna just do another soil test. This is I don't need any more seeds, but this is going to be my last soil test. I used the Kellogg in my last one. I'm going to use this version of Miracle Grow, and when it comes time, I'm going to direct sow plants outside with this, and then kind of compare how this worked directly outside rather than grow lights a couple months early, because the grow lights were ridiculous. It was just, I put that stuff in way too early. This was the fertilizer I use whenever I'm up potting. When I up pot the plants, and I only have one hand, I was going to try to make a video of it, but unless I get something to hold the camera, I can't do that. But what I do is I line the bottom of the newer cup, the bigger cup, with the soil. I sprinkle a little bit of this on there. I put the new the plant in, take it out of the old cup, put it in the new one. Make sure the roots look nice, and if it's root bound, I just kind of break it up as much as I can without tearing them all. And then I water it all the way through, and it seems to be working out really well so far. So that's today's update, and see you again tomorrow or the next day. I always put in the description, but I want to say it also. This is not how to. This is not instructional on how to grow plants. This is my first time growing from seed. So I want to emphasize, in case you don't read the description, I somewhat know what I'm doing, but not really. So don't watch these videos and take this as something you should do. I'm doing these videos more for me, so I can remember what I did the previous year and improve on it. And we'll see what works, what doesn't in real time. Thanks.